Hello and welcome to my Yugioh channel. Today we're looking at new cards coming out of Burst of Destiny, and this first one is called a transonic bird. It's a level 4 dark attribute winged beast ritual effect monster with 0 attack and 2400 defense. It requires you can ritual summon this card with Sonic Tracker. The effect, once per turn you can reveal one ritual spell card in your hand, and if you do, add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand whose name is listed on it, and if you do that, shuffle the revealed card into the deck. 2. Once per turn during your opponent's turn, as a quick effect you can send one ritual spell from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that ritual spell's effect. That ritual summons a monster when it is activated. And 3. If this ritual summon card is tributed, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. This is quite an unusual ritual monster because it tends to act like its own version of supporting other ritual monsters within their summoning. If you think of things like Sonic Bird, you've got Manju and Senju. Those are all cards, all monsters do search either for the ritual spell or for the ritual monster. This happens to do a little bit of each. The defense points on this card are actually very usable, and even for a level 4, definitely a way of keeping something on the field until you might have gained one of the pieces necessary to go into your ritual summon. The first effect just happens to trade in your ritual spell for the ritual monster, so by revealing the ritual spell, you can actually send that back to the deck and you in exchange get the ritual monster. It's very useful if you've got duplicates of the ritual spell already in your hand, because you already have the ability to go into that ritual monster just by having one less copy of it. The second effect activates during your opponent's turn, and actually it acts like a quick version of being able to ritual summon during your opponent's turn. It mimics that ritual spell's activation, and you're basically making this card the ritual spell. Whilst it doesn't have to be tributed as part of the cost to summon that ritual monster, it actually does benefit if it uses that as part of its third effect, which means you're able to just shut down one of your opponent's face-up cards by using this card as part of the ritual material. It's a decent enough effect, and all three synergize with each other. It's definitely something I would consider running if you are looking at a ritual type of deck. I know you've got many variations of cards that work, but this is definitely an example I wouldn't forget about. And the ritual spell card is called a Sonic Tracker. This card is used to ritual summon a transonic bird. You can use the second effect with this card's name only once per turn. 1. Ritual summon one transonic bird from your hand by attributing monsters from your hand and or field whose total levels equal 4 or more, but the summoned monster's level becomes equal to the total levels of the monsters used. 2. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one ritual monster you control, send one ritual monster with the same type and or attribute as that face-up monster from your deck to the graveyard. So the benefit of this card is if you happen to be summoning your transonic bird, it doesn't maintain its level. If you've actually had to sacrifice higher levels as a total, it copies those levels. So if you're going into further stepping stones with ritual summoning, you can treat that as whatever level monster was when you've combined those resources. So you don't lose the levels as you would for basically any other ritual monster. As for the secondary ability, it does confuse me. Banishing this card, targeting a ritual monster, and then sending a ritual monster with the same type and or attribute as that from the deck to the graveyard. I don't understand the purpose unless you've got a means of recovering that card from the graveyard, in which case I can see it being usable. I think for things like pre-preparation of rites is an example where that can actually be used as part of this, and I'm sure there is going to be some more synergy in the future. Overall, I do think these cards work very well just to support rituals in general, maybe more so than the standard very old versions such as Sonic Bird, Senju and Manju. But I don't think it's enough at the moment to warrant running a pure ritual deck. We're still waiting on some more powerful ritual monsters to entice players to actually going back to a very old game mechanic. Think of it this way, outside of things like normal monsters and effect monsters, rituals were the next oldest versions of cards alongside that with fusion monsters. Whatever you guys think of these cards, please leave those comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Yu-Gi-Oh content.